were looking at it from a balcony. I peered closer, but then I tripped. I don't know whether my shoe was untied or whether I have X-ray vision. Pretty crazy, right? Some of you probably won't believe me, but trust me, it's true. This is the story of how I grew up with X-ray vision. Make sure you stay tuned till the end of the video to hear how I ended up becoming famous as a result. Before I go on, make sure you like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any more crazy stories. When I was born, I was a normal baby. I didn't have X-ray vision at that time because something hadn't happened to me yet. You see, I got these X-ray vision powers by accident. I was 13 years old. My dad worked at a nuclear power plant and I was visiting him at work. He showed me around the place. He showed me all the cool buttons and dials that he had to control. And he also showed me a secret facility where they were storing sort of chemical. The thing was, they had no idea what kind of chemical it was. Some of the scientists there suspected it was a new element. My dad shouldn't have brought me there. It was top secret, but I guess he wanted to impress his 13-year-old son. I was so interested. Right then and there, I wanted to grow up and become a nuclear scientist just like my dad. I was stepping closer to the huge pot of the strange chemical. It was bubbling and was a weird reddish color. The pot rested below us and we were looking at it from a balcony. I peered closer, but then I tripped. I don't know whether my shoe was untied or whether I was just too excited, but I tripped and suddenly I was falling straight towards the chemical tub. My dad was screaming, and then the last thing I remember is falling into the chemical liquid. And I remember it was really warm. Then I blacked out. Next thing I knew, I was being pulled out of the pot by a huge machine and lowered back onto the balcony. There were so many people around me and I could hear all of them shouting, and then I heard my dad's voice. He was half sobbing, half shouting, and then I opened my eyes. What I saw made my jaw drop. I could see through things, like actually through them. I could see through my dad's face and I could see his brain. I could see through the clothes of some of the other scientists, and I blushed because I could see through the clothes of the women too. This was crazy. I had X-ray vision. But it was so difficult to see too. Imagine walking around and seeing through everything. I didn't know how to control my power, and I had no clue how long this would last. No one there knew that I had X-ray vision yet. All they wanted to do was bring me to the hospital to see if I was at any risk of dying. I felt fine, completely fine. If anything, I felt a little stronger. But I kept my eyes shut because the X-ray vision was sort of giving me a headache. I kept my eyes shut the whole way, but on the ambulance ride there, I whispered to my dad and told him what had happened. "Dad, I have X-ray vision," I said. But Dad didn't say anything. He probably thought I was just delirious. When we got to the hospital, the doctors ran some tests and confirmed that I was completely fine. There was nothing wrong with me. That's when I decided to prove to my dad that I had X-ray vision. "Dad, please, you have to trust me," I said. "I can see through everything. Look, I'll prove it to you. Right now, you're wearing red underwear." My dad was shocked.
Now for a lesson. You may have heard these words before, but I'll teach you what they really mean. Go beyond!
Because he was indeed wearing red underwear. "And in the room next to us, there are two parents and a child, and the child is wearing a pink hat," I said. The doctors and my dad went to the next room to check, and sure enough, there was the child with the pink hat and her two parents. "It's probably just a coincidence," said one of the doctors skeptically. "Oh yeah?" I said. "Put up a number of fingers behind your back. I bet I can guess them right each time." The doctor put them behind his back, and sure enough, I guessed it right every single time. Well, they were getting really excited now. My dad couldn't believe what was happening to his son. "He must have developed these powers after falling in that chemical pot," said one of the doctors. When my mom came from work to the hospital, she also couldn't believe her ears when she was told that I had X-ray vision. She was hugging me and I was holding her tight, but when I opened my eyes to look at her, a sharp pain crossed my eyes. I winced and my mom immediately noticed. "What's wrong?" she asked in concern. "It's just," I groaned, "sometimes the X-ray vision hurts." Well, after she heard that, she instantly said we needed to hire someone to help me control my powers. After that, I stayed at the hospital, and I was given an eye therapist who helped me through some exercises to control my X-ray vision. For example, we would practice adjusting my X-ray vision. So we could stack a bunch of books together, and I had to adjust my vision to see through the books and read each cover. It was hard, and sometimes I got a headache, but eventually I got the hang of it. After around 6 months of these exercises, I was finally in control of my powers. At the same time of this, the government obviously heard, and they came to the hospital to run tests on me of their own. My mom was scared they would take me away, but I guess they didn't see me as much of a threat, and as long as they were still able to run tests on me every now and then, they were fine. Finally, around a year after my accident, I was able to go to school again. In that span of a year, I had become somewhat famous. Everyone had heard of the boy with X-ray vision, and at my school, I had become something of a celebrity. Everyone wanted to see me use my powers, and I actually became very popular, even though I was quite unpopular before I got my powers. You may be thinking, wow, you're so lucky you have powers, but you should be careful for what you wish for. My powers actually became more of a burden during my high school years. First off, girls never trusted me. They always thought I was being a creep and looking through their clothes, and a lot of the time they would run away from me whenever I was in the vicinity. My dating life was basically non-existent because of my X-ray vision powers. Meanwhile, it was hard for me to make friends. Sure, everyone wanted to be my friend, but not a true friend. I couldn't tell whether people were being nice to me just because of my fame and powers, or because they actually wanted to be friends. Plus, teachers always thought I was cheating. I guess during exams, I could have easily used my X-ray vision to look at someone else's test from behind them, or look through the cupboards at the books, but I actually never cheated. I never abused my power. I was a good person. I would never cheat or do something like that. And no matter how many times I told everyone that I was innocent, they never believed me. And then, I had a bully. His name was Marco, and he also liked to pick on me. I didn't want to fight him, but...
Are you pulling into the driveway right now?
No, I'm still a few minutes away.
It must be Dad. It's not Dad's car.
What color is it?
White?
Lock the doors.
What's going on?
I'll explain once you're safe.
I'm closing all the windows.
The back door.
Doors are locked.
Good. Now hide.
Someone's trying to get in.
Don't let them see you. Where is he?
But apparently he liked to fight me, and every so often he would take my lunch money too. My friends would ask me why I didn't use my powers to fight him back, but I said I didn't want to abuse my power, and so Marco continued to bully me. For a few months, things continued like this at school. Then something happened that changed my path in life. Things started to go missing around the school. First, it was just small things like a pencil case or a water bottle, or sometimes even a shoe. Then laptops started to get stolen, then phones, and then even a whole desktop computer from the lab. We had a thief at our school. Some of my friends said I should use my powers to try and find the culprit. I supposed it was worth a shot, so one night after school...
Can we get some cereal first? What's she say? They are wasteful. They are wasteful.
Well, I sneaked into one of the classrooms. I guessed that the thief was probably stealing at night since no one was there. I sat in the middle of the classroom and started to look around. I could see the room next door. Then, through that, I could see the football field. I looked below me and used my X-ray vision to watch the... I supposed it was worth a shot, so one night after school, I sneaked into one of the classrooms. I guessed that the thief was probably stealing at night since no one was there. I sat in the middle of the classroom and started to look around. I could see the room next door. Then, through that, I could see the football field. I looked below me and used my X-ray vision to watch the classroom below, on the ground floor of the building. To my right was the computer lab, where the desktop had been stolen. I waited silently and nothing happened for at least an hour. Then, I saw a dark figure move in the computer lab to my right. Then, they moved behind a desk, and I adjusted my X-ray vision to see through that too. They were stealing another computer. I had caught the thief. I immediately called the police and told them quietly what was happening. And then, I looked again at the thief. They had heard my voice. They were coming right into this room. I rushed to